Hi, how you guys doing? You're watching Andy WTH. I'm Andy. This is Survivor Edition 33, and we just finished another week of it. Uh, Based on what I'm going to give you my thoughts on what has happened, what did happen, and what I think will happen. Okay, let's first start off kind of a little bit of a history. What happened there last week before this week? As we all remember, Jessica was going home. Okay, they were going to vote her out, and that was the plan. And of course, Ken sit there and said, "Well, Ken's on decide to go and say, hey, Jessica, they really want to target you. Lucy's the one that's coming after you. She wants you out." And she didn't really believe him. Okay. So she thought, oh, he's trying to play me, all this stuff. So what does he do? Or what does she do? Excuse me. She decides to go talk to Lucy. All right. So, of course, she exposed that about Kenny going to talk to her about it. So basically, that was a dumbass move on Jessica. She didn't believe him, and it pretty much almost bit her in the ass. If it wasn't for David, David played the hidden immunity idol and saved her. So that's what kind of sets up for this week. Of course, what does Jessica do? She says to him, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I should have believed you. Now I'm going to believe you. You're trustworthy, blah, 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 blah." And of course, what does she do? She turns around and tells him that she has an advantage for day 36, which is called the legacy, which of course we still don't know what legacy advantage is, but I kind of touched base on that a while back, what I thought it could be. And now he knows about this legacy thing. So, and she, of course, what does she do? She tells him, you know what? If I get pretty much, in a nutshell, if I get voted out beforehand, I'm going to give you the legacy. So really, he's not the one that saved you. It was David. But that's another story for another day, I'm sure. And speaking of David, this guy is like the hidden immunity idol hunter. The next day, everybody in the tribe decided, we're going to go out and look for the idol. So he says, okay, well, I'm going to go look for the idol. So he's looking around, and everybody's walking right almost by it. He's seen it, so he's like, okay, I have to be careful. I want the idol, so he kind of played it cool. And when everybody kind of dispersed, leaves a little bit, give him just a little bit of a window of opportunity, he went out, he got the idol. So this guy found the idol twice without clues, pretty much. So that's good. That's good for David. Good for him. Now let's get right down to what happened after that. They decided, or excuse me, they went to see Jeff there, and Jeff says, guess what, guys? We're doing a switch, if you want, of the game. He says, we're going to divide you guys up into 3 groups, okay? 2 of them will return to the beach that the current charges are at, and 1 of them will have to start all over again. Lucky them. And the ones that get so lucky to start over again was Michaela, Jay, Will, Brent, Sunday, and Hannah. And that tribe's very interesting, okay? That one there, you have 4 millennials, and 2 Generation X. Now this is going to be very interesting because in that format, if you want, Brent and Sunday are kind of like are the only 2 that are from Generation X, and they're going to have to work really hard to try to break into this 4 alliance, obviously, and of course that's going to be hard. Are they going to be able to do it? The only one that I could see that could kind of change things around a little bit on a whim is Jay. So we're going to see what's going to happen. They are really in a bad position, and in that whole group there, physically, obviously, it's Michaela is the strongest physical player on that team. She proved it at the challenges that came up later. So she's definitely the competition monster in that group. And of course, she also started Fire, which was pretty damn good. So that's what I'm thinking about that group there. And that group there, for as the ones that's the smartest ones, is probably Jay and Brent. Those are the two smart ones as far as I'm concerned. Are they going to work together later? That would be probably their best interest, but we'll see. And then, of course, the next group is Zeke, Michelle, David, Cece, and Chris. Now, Chris is obviously the physical monster in that group, and the brains is obviously Michelle. Okay, bottom, there's no if buts or nothing. She is definitely the smartest one as far as gameplay. And basically, who is locked in the middle? Well, really, at that point, you got three Generation X going against three millennials. So that vote should go pretty easy. We'll talk about that later. And of course, the other one, which is the other tribe, is Jessica, Kent, the two lovebirds, Friggy and Taylor. And Adam, of course, is the one that's actually the prettiest in that tribe because he's in the middle. All right. This is a very interesting tribe because you have Ken and Jessica. They're obviously are tight together. And of course, you got the lovebirds. Now, what is Adam going to do when the time comes? Is he going to stick with the two lovebirds, or is he going to go with Jessica and Ken? Well, this is going to be very, very tough move for him. But I think myself personally, he'd be probably better off getting rid of one of the lovebirds or both of them because they're always going to stick together. Plus, on top of that, the lovebirds have two more person in their alliance. All right, Jay and Michelle. So basically, it'd be probably at his best interest for further down in the game to get rid of both of them. We're going to see how that works out. So that if I was Adam, that would be my play, absolutely, because there's going to be a power struggle in that trial. That's what I would do. Now, of course, the competition, who lost? It was the team of Zeke, Michelle, David, which has the idol, and Cece and Chris. Now, of course, Chris is, they're sitting there thinking with the other David and Cece, oh, I'm okay. You know, we are the Power Alliance because they have more Generation X than the millennials. And of course, millennials are sitting there thinking, oh, what do we do? Now, Chris is all right. Who does Chris get buddy up with right away? Zeke. All right. So they're right away. They're working together. They're going to become, if you want, an alliance. I think they're going to be definitely forming an alliance. I can see that happening down the road. If not, it has already happened. So the vote came right down to it. Of course, Cece did not see this coming. And of course, David, they went to David. David voted the way I need to vote. That's Chris talked to him. Of course, David's thinking, well, what should I do? Should I go against him or not? He look at the vote count. He knew he didn't have the vote count to be able to flip the other two over. So what does he do? He voted her out as well. So it basically came to a 4-1 vote. And next week, David, if your tribe loses, you're going to have to play that immunity idol because they're coming after you. Okay, you know very well Chris is going to vote you out because you stab in the back twice, your turn's coming. So basically, you better be ready to play that idol. If you don't play, you're gone. And that's about it right now. And who is really right now sitting in the best position? Oof. That I'm going to have to say right now. Oof. I'm going to say Adam is probably in the best position, I think, at the moment of all the tribes at the moment. Only because he's in that power center, if you want. So if his tribe loses next week, he's probably be safe for sure, absolutely. Now, the other tribe with Zeke and them, that's going to be, because of that idol, that's going to be tight one to call. But I know, I'm pretty sure David will be okay because he's pretty smart. I think he will play it. And who in the other tribe, in that group there, who has the most to lose? Brent. I think Brent could be in trouble if his tribe loses. But we're going to see next week what's going to happen. That's just a few thoughts of what's going on in Survivor this week and where I think it's going to go. Basically, we're going to see if I'm right or wrong. If you like what I do, just subscribe below. If I have any comments, by all means, go ahead. We'll talk to you guys later next week. Thank you very much for watching. See you later. Bye now.